Okay, here we are after about an hour of soaking. I always like to run some more water over everything. One thing I forgot to mention earlier was the fact that I always like to inspect the gourds for any defects. Usually there's a crack, and it's hard to see under all that old dried off mold. Yeah, but you want to save yourself time, and that's one way to do it, is just check it out. And then as I unwrap this, I'll take another look at it and see if there's anything that's obvious. And as you can see, things are kind of yucky looking, I guess is about the best way I could put it. So, I'm going to turn on some hot water here in a little bit because that helps in sloughing things off. And I grab the steel pot scraper, and this is where the fun starts. And you just scrub the heck out of it. Look how that's coming off already. It's looking really nice. It's cleaning off really, really, really good. Of course, it's got a long way to go, and there's always lots of little surprises right around the next corner. So you never know. You don't want to get too cocky here that, oh boy, you're going to wipe this thing out in a matter of a couple of minutes. Sometimes that even happens though, and that's always nice. So we just keep on going around and around. This is getting a little tougher here, but that's just a defect in the gourd, not anything is going to get removed. It just adds character to it when Karen starts her artwork on it. And she deals with that sort of stuff all the time because you're dealing with an imperfect surface. Mom Nature likes to toss out those little challenges. And you see here on the bottom here that it's pretty rough. Some of that will come off with a little extra elbow grease. But most of it's going to stay. It's all part of the gourd, not the mold. And so we're just really cranking along here, doing pretty good here. Hey, you little booger, get back up there. Shame on you. Just behave yourself. Alright, so there we go. Isn't this exciting? Now this is a little extra elbow grease here. Scrub the heck out of it. Now make sure you get as much of this black mold off as possible. That involves some extra scrubbing, especially when you're dealing with an imperfect surface. Imperfect meaning, in this case, kind of rough. Now up here at the top, I always like to use a little copper brush here to slough off this mold up around by the stem. And then I always like to clean the stem off a little bit because it's kind of yucky looking, you know. And it also adds a little character by leaving some of it on, but by the same token, I always like to kind of clean it up a little bit here. So that's looking pretty good. We'll take it up here and a little closer inspection here, and I'll see if I can't get some more of that off there. That's a lot better. Then it just takes a little perseverance here. Get some of that stuff off. This is not going to come off. That's going to stay. I think it's going to stay. can't get some of that off right there. Yeah, that came off good. And I get that little spot off. See if we can get that little spot off there. Alright, that came off pretty good. Now look at that. See that? That'll come off. Voila, it's gone. And getting some pretty rough stuff here, so I'm going to take a little extra elbow grease to get down there in those little nooks and crannies there, the imperfections of the gourd. Looking pretty good. Oops. Now there's it. I always like to run my fingers to it because you can tell when you haven't quite got everything off there. It'll be a little rough spot. And that's what I felt right there. So I always rub my fingers on it. It tells you a lot about this little spot right there. Bingo! And there's another little spot right there. We'll get rid of that little puppy. See? Done. Now looks like there's some stuff down there, but that's not going to come off. That's all embedded in the gourd itself. It always adds a little character to the background when Karen starts doing her artwork on it. And that's looking pretty good. That's looking good. I feel something on the other side here. We'll get to that in a second. Right in here. Seems like I've been through that before, but we'll hit it again. Ah, there we go. Much better. Much better. Oh. There's a defect there that's got some dried mold in it. Let's get that off. That's not going to come off there. That's not going to come off. So we'll put that down, run my fingers to it. I don't like that bottom there, so let's just get a little bit more down there. There we go. Now let's try this spot right here. It's rough. I don't know if that's going to come off or not. But yeah, it's coming off. Look at that. Woohoo! My fingers picked that up. Isn't it pretty in its natural state there with a little bit of water on it? It's absolutely gorgeous. So, that's feeling really pretty doggone good. So what I will do now is turn the water off and I'll set it outside to dry in the sun. Isn't that pretty cool looking? Look at that puppy. Oh!
Speaking of cool looking,